questions. You could be D, which is dynamic, task-oriented, or I, which is influential and people-oriented, S, which is stable and supportive and sustainable, which is, S is a little bit of those retreat. We kind of people-oriented, but we could also be a little task-oriented. And C, that is also very cautious and very much task-oriented, detailed. And therefore, when you do the analysis, there's a combination. It could be one or two or three, and high and low, and then it's very designed or defined to your personality type.
So when you offer this DISC analysis inside of a team or organization, what's the impact? What's the aha for them?
It is. I will tell you on the pre-side is, my goodness, how did they know this is me? How did they know? I answered a few questions. How did they get that? And then he went up and said, you know, as a boy, and he was there, but he was in total agreement. This is really me from childhood. This is me. And then the next thing that happens is that now I talk about giftedness. That's God's gift to you. So therefore, how are you using this gift to move forward? Use eyes. See, well, that's the most important leadership tool. I is influential. That's a natural leader. How are you going to use this to move forward? It's for him to get so confident and so comfortable, and then began taking his decisions. And what we do at that point is that we start doing an analysis on the institution. What's the vision? First of all, what's your personal vision? What's your personal journey? Where you're going? What you want to do? What does success look like for you? And then we go into the institution. What's the institutional vision? And where is it going? Where do you want to go? And then we begin to align. We begin to align all the candidates we have in the room, and we begin to say, are you in the right place?
Yes.
Is there an alignment? And if there is an alignment, and if there is no alignment, what are we going to do? Are we going to make a change to the institution? Are we going to make a change to you? And if there is none, good leaders, you know, and we go through that process, and then we start the journey, and we have got to stay with them. We stay with them. At some point in time, maybe every 3 months, we would visit. Put in place an M&E committee. After they put their goals together, and they know that this is what they're doing, and then we put all the instruments in place and we keep checking. Every 3 months we need to
So M&E would be
a monitoring and evaluation committee to make sure that you're really trying to achieve your goal. What does success look like? More people in the congregation, an active church, happy Christian brotherhood, and so we keep, is it happening? Where is it at?
So it's accountability and tracking and milestones and
and we've got the instruments to show. And in all of this, we keep teaching leadership. So as we go down the vestry, as we go down the congregation, we stay, as John Maxwell says all the time, we are all leaders. Whether it is your parents, whether it is your principal, whether it is your housewife, whether it is you, whatever you do, at whatever level you are, we are all leaders. So if you understand that you're a leader, where's the accountability? Where's the action? You know, where's the responsibility?
I love hearing you talk about this because it's clear to me that you can use this particular analysis at the individual level, at the team level, at the organization level, right? And you could probably use it at the national level.
We do. And that's when we talk about alignment. It's aligned. Because if it aligns, everything's going to be okay. We are intentional.
Again, it goes back to that. Thank you. So I know that you have done some work on grief and loss, and there was a mastermind project that you were working on at one time. Now, can you talk a little bit about that?
Very, very powerful. It was after my husband died, and the funeral home had a grief counselor, and she actually spent time with myself and my son. It really helped. And took the decision, there are many people in my experiencing what I'm experiencing now. Let's put something together. And we did exactly that. It was one of the most powerful workshops. So we did it about twice. And we would do it again in the future. But it was so powerful that that's an instance where we saw change for very eyes. The people would come in and like, goodness, what do I do? Where do I go? And in that, not only there was tears, they would cry, they would pour out, but you know something, at the end of the day, they would leave there so eager to go and do and make things happen and be different. You know, so it was a very powerful vision.
So I'm imagining, Hazel, that this was helpful to you,
yes,
as well as the people that were in your mastermind group.
You know, even when I coach, I think I learn more. I benefit more from the coaching. I benefit more from the workshops than the people who I'm working with. And I feel so very guilty. I am learning so much. I'm benefiting so much. And what I do, but I know that in giving back like this, it really helps me.
Yes.
I'm more steady, more stable. I don't like to be more than that, but I am more confident, maybe is the word, that I'm on the right path and I'm doing the right.
Excellent. So I know you've had just years and years of experience and seasoning and ripening and maturing. And I'm wondering, I know that John talks about transformational leadership. I mean, that's his calling card, right? And I'm curious, can you tell us what you mean by transformational leadership?
I think I know that I'm a transformational leader, and I know because I do things that I coach. I really am a natural coach. I realize that I hold hands and I support, and where my colleagues will say, "I've had enough of this," I said, "No, let's go in again, let's do it again," and we would, you know, I'm more patient. I don't like because I'll never be patient, but I'm more patient. I'm more patient with my children, you know. So there's that kind of steady, and focused. Moving forward.
Yeah, so I love that you were mentioning coaching, because a lot of coaches don't think about themselves as influencers. They just think about themselves as a guide on the side or something. But can you talk to us about transformational leadership and why it's important to really understand that as a coach?
Yes, it is very much so. I like what you said there, not as influencers, but you know, maybe to explain it, I don't tell them what to do. I don't tell them what to do. I let them talk. They talk a lot. I don't talk much. They talk a lot. When they talk a bit, I give them a story. I put on my mentorship hat. I say, could I change hat? They know me for that. Could I change hat? Could I put on my mentorship? They say, yeah, you put on your hat. You go ahead, put on the hat. And then I would give a story. But just to give a story, and I would explain something. Sometimes I have read somewhere. I'm an avid reader. So I read a lot. I do a lot of the documentaries, audio. So I can always find a story that is relevant. And then I withdraw again, and then they go on. I find that this assessment, and I also do a game of which animal am I. Those are very fun games with it deep. And you know, I realize I'm a penguin, but it says so much about you. And then they say, my goodness, is that sense of seeing yourself for the first time? And I keep quoting all the time, when you're in the frame, you don't see the picture. When you're in the frame, you don't. I sometimes need people to honestly say, hey, you know, maybe you need to look at that picture again. And they come to terms with that. So this is who I am. This is what I am. So therefore, how are you going to move forward now? And that's the moving out before you say that.
Yeah, I love what you say about you can't see yourself when you're in the frame. Yeah, so that's why you need a coach, right, to help you see your picture. To mirror back to you.
Let's just asking questions. What did you do? I call it W to the fifth power and H. Who, what, why, when, where, and how. And those are the questions I ask. So what is that? So who did that? Why? I don't use why too much. I do every now and then. What's your why? And then how? What are you going to do? And they go deep in, and they see them coming back up to their hands. Because I realize when they do that, they follow through. Because that's what they want to do. That's the what. And then they say, you know something? I'm going to go ahead and do this.
So I love your approach to coaching. There are various approaches to coaching, but you sound like you help that person navigate and discover and excavate what they already have within them, and you kind of help them lift it up.
I'm guided by Christian Simpson.
Yes. All right. Yes.
I'm really, I see it as well.
Mm-hmm.
I see it. It's very, very listening.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Listening.
Yeah. Yeah. Good. Wow. This is So, can you tell us about anything right now that you're working on, Hazel, that you're excited about or that you want our listeners to know about?
The church, one that 4 years. It's 4 years, but it's still exciting and it's still fresh because I'm seeing it happening. That church actually is carnival, and carnival is not supposed to be pagan or whatever. That church actually launched a carnival band. The band was, when I tell you, something to behold. I would send you the email.
Okay.
Basically, they looked at the stained windows in the church, and the costumes were based on the stained windows, and they were beautiful, and very talked about the role of the church in carnival. You know, sometimes carnival could get a little bit risky. So there's this is how you dress, this is how you parade, and this is what you look like. And they launched it in a church with a prayer. And it really was to me, it tells you that they're no longer, the church is no longer sitting on the sidelines looking on and saying, I don't agree with this, or we disagree with that, and we agree with this. But taking an active part in what's going on and saying, you know, this is how we need to do it in a really gentle way, nice.
Yeah.
You know, so that really has been impressing me. And one of the things I do is I coach the leaders. So that whichever organization we're working, whichever institution we're working in, there's always be a group of an executive team that we actually do one-on-one coaching. So that guides us, you know.
Yes.
So that's one that I'm really proud of. One of the children we did, and I saw school just made it, you know, just moving forward. That's the second one that we're really very proud of.
What age group were you working with in the school?
Secondary school.
Okay.
So from age 11, 12 to graduation, 18 or so. But the school is wasn't doing so well, but the principal just took it and ran with it, and he saw the change around in a short time. But we're now dealing with the hospital, medical. So we're dealing with a small family company. I mean, the principles could apply across.
Yeah, leadership is leadership. Yeah, that's what I tell people all the time. That's what John says all the time, right?
Yeah. It is.
Yeah.
It is. So then people say, are you really doing NGOs or are you non-profits? Or no, anybody who comes to us and is anybody who's in need, and we were there. Jesus.
Excellent. It's very exciting.
Yes,
very exciting.
It's helpful in my country that's now going through a recession, and it's difficult, and they're closing down companies. And so we actually started doing it with businesses, small businesses. You know, because it is at this time when they're like, where do I go? What do I do?
Yeah.
There's panic, there's fear. How do I then do it? You know?
So you're able to step in and assist even during a recession.
Especially now, is that strategic plan working for you? Because the circumstances have changed, the environment is different. So therefore, let's look and see what we can do, and that's it.
You're delivering like solid gold wisdom here. So Hazel, before we wrap up for today, is there anything else you want to share? Is there a question perhaps that you wish I had asked you that I didn't ask? Yeah.
Maybe the fact that what you're doing also applies to family life, and that in my one-on-one coaching, I impact on family life, and I maybe wish I could do more of that. And that's where one of the places I want to go.
Yes.
Not one-on-one, the mother who comes to complain that the husband he treats her so badly. So therefore, how do I deal? Where do we go? What do you want? How do you, questions we ask who, what, why, when, and she looks so depressed in the conversations. And at the end of the day, in the last session we had, she said, "You can't believe how he's so different." said, is he different or are you different? He said, I